My cousin Tara stood in the middle of our family reunion, her voice loud and confident as she told everyone I stole Grandma's heirloom necklace. Her words hit me like a punch, and the worst part, everyone believed her, their eyes turning cold as I tried to defend myself. Before we start, let us know in the comments section where you're watching from. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. I walked into the backyard, the smell of barbecue filling the air. Our family reunions were always big, tables piled with food, kids running around, and aunts gossiping. I was excited to see everyone, especially Grandma, who always had a warm hug for me. But this time, something felt off. Tara, my cousin, kept glancing at me with a smirk. I brushed it off, thinking she was just being her usual dramatic self. Then, during dessert, Tara stood up, holding a glass of lemonade. "I need to tell you all something," she said, her voice sharp. She claimed I stole Grandma's heirloom necklace, the one passed down for generations. My stomach dropped. I tried to speak, but everyone's eyes were on me, judging. Even Grandma looked hurt. Tara's lie was like a bomb, and I was caught in the blast. I couldn't believe what was happening. Tara's words echoed in my head as I stood frozen. "She took it last week when she visited Grandma's house," Tara said, her eyes locked on mine. I shouted, "That's not true," but my voice sounded small. My aunts and uncles whispered to each other, and my little brother looked confused. Grandma's face was the worst. Her eyes were sad, like I'd betrayed her. I tried to explain I hadn't been to Grandma's house in months, but Tara cut me off. "I saw her sneaking around," she lied, her voice so convincing it scared me. No one questioned her. They just nodded, like her story made sense. I felt like I was drowning in their stares. Why would Tara do this? We'd never been close, but this was different. This was mean. After Tara's accusation, I tried to talk to Grandma. I followed her to the kitchen, where she was washing dishes. "Grandma, I didn't take your necklace," I said, my voice shaking. She didn't look at me, just kept scrubbing a plate. "Tara wouldn't lie," she said quietly. My heart sank. Grandma always believed me before, but now she didn't. I went to my mom next, hoping she'd listen. She was outside, talking to Aunt Lisa. "Mom, Tara's lying," I said. Mom sighed and said, "Why would she make that up?" Aunt Lisa shook her head, like I was the problem. I felt so alone. Tara's lie was spreading, and no one cared about my side. The reunion ended, but the damage was done. I sat in my room that night, replaying Tara's words. Her smirk kept flashing in my mind. She'd always been jealous, when I got better grades or when Grandma praised me. But this was too far. Why the necklace? It was a gold chain with a heart pendant, worth a lot, but I'd never even touched it. I heard my phone buzz. It was a text from Tara. "Told you I'd win." My hands shook. She planned this. She wanted everyone to hate me. I wanted to scream, but instead, I just sat there, feeling helpless. I had to figure out why she did this and how to fix it. The next day, I decided to clear my name. I went to Grandma's house, hoping to find some clue about the necklace. Grandma let me in but barely spoke. Her house smelled like lavender, like always, but it felt cold now. I asked if I could look in her jewelry box. She nodded but watched me closely, like I might steal something. The necklace wasn't there. I checked the living room, the drawers, even under the couch, nothing. I asked Grandma when she last saw it. "A month ago," she said, her voice flat. That meant Tara's story about me taking it last week was a lie. I just needed proof. I lay awake that night, thinking about Tara. We used to play together as kids, but she changed when we hit middle school. She started competing with me, grades, sports, even who Grandma liked more. Last year, Grandma gave me her old recipe book, and Tara was mad for weeks. Was this her revenge? I remembered something else. Tara's family was struggling with money. Her dad lost his job, and they were always borrowing from Grandma. Maybe Tara thought blaming me would make her look better, like the good cousin. It was a guess, but it made sense. I needed to talk to someone who might believe me. My little brother Jake was the only one who didn't look at me like I was guilty. He was 10 and always followed me around. The next morning, I found him in the backyard, kicking a soccer ball. "Jake, do you think I stole Grandma's necklace?" I asked. He stopped and shook his head. "No way. You're not like that." I told him about Tara's lie. His eyes got wide. "She's mean," he said. He mentioned seeing Tara at Grandma's house 2 weeks ago, when I wasn't there. That was a clue. Maybe Tara took the necklace herself. Jake promised to help me find out what really happened. Jake and I made a plan. We'd watch Tara and see if she slipped up. I also wanted to check her room, but that was risky. She lived 2 streets away, and her mom was always home. Jake suggested we talk to our cousin MIA, who was Tara's best friend. Maybe MIA knew something. We found MIA at the park, swinging on the swings. She was nice but loyal to Tara. "MIA, did Tara ever mention Grandma's necklace?" I asked. Emma looked nervous and said no, but her eyes darted away. She was hiding something. I didn't push, but I knew we were onto something. The next day, Jake and I biked to Tara's house. Her mom was at work, and Tara was at soccer practice. Jake kept watch while I slipped into her backyard. My heart was pounding. I climbed through an open window into her room. It was messy, clothes everywhere, posters on the walls. I checked her desk and drawers, but found nothing. Then, under her bed, I saw a small box. My hand shook as I opened it. Inside was a gold chain, just like Grandma's necklace. I took a picture with my phone. This was proof, but I couldn't take it yet. I needed a plan to show everyone without getting caught. I showed Jake the picture of the necklace. His eyes got huge. "We got her," he whispered. But we needed more than a photo. I decided to talk to MIA again. She was at the park, eating ice cream with friends. I pulled her aside and showed her the picture. "MIA, you know Tara took it, don't you?" I asked. Mia's face turned red. "I didn't know," she mumbled, but she wouldn't look at me. She said Tara bragged about getting back at me, but didn't say how. Mia seemed scared to tell more. I didn't push her, but I knew she was the key to making Tara confess. I told Mom we needed a family meeting. She was hesitant but agreed. That evening, everyone gathered at Grandma's house, aunts, uncles, cousins, and Tara. I was nervous, my hands sweaty. I stood up and said, "Tara lied about me. I didn't steal the necklace." Tara rolled her eyes, acting innocent. I showed the picture of the necklace in Tara's room. The room got quiet. Tara's face turned pale. "That's not mine," she yelled. But Grandma looked at the photo and gasped. "That's my necklace," she said. Everyone started whispering. Tara's lie was starting to crack. Tara stood up, her voice loud. "Someone planted that necklace in my room," she said. She pointed at me, saying I was trying to frame her. Some aunts nodded, like they believed her. My heart sank. She was good at twisting things. I stayed calm and said, "Why would I do that? You're the one who lied first." Grandma looked confused, holding the photo. Uncle Mike, Tara's dad, spoke up. "Let's not jump to conclusions," he said. But I could tell he was worried. Tara's story wasn't adding up, and people were starting to doubt her. I just needed one more push to prove the truth. The next day, I met MIA at school. She looked guilty, kicking at the ground. "I need to tell you something," she said. She admitted Tara told her about taking the necklace to get me in trouble. May didn't want to help but was too scared to tell anyone. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I asked MIA to tell the family. She was nervous but agreed. We went to Grandma's house together. May told everyone the truth. Tara took the necklace and hid it to make me look bad. Tara's face went white. She tried to argue, but no one believed her anymore. Grandma asked Tara to get the necklace from her room. Tara dragged her feet but came back with the box. She handed it to Grandma, not looking at anyone. Grandma opened it, and there it was, the gold chain with the heart pendant, shining in the light. She hugged it to her chest, tears in her eyes. I felt relieved but still hurt. Tara's lie had turned everyone against me, and even though the truth was out, things weren't the same. Grandma apologized to me, but her voice was quiet, like she felt guilty for believing Tara. I just nodded, not sure what to say. The next day, Tara showed up at my house. She looked different, no smirk, just red eyes like she'd been crying. "I'm sorry," she mumbled, staring at the ground. She said she was jealous because Grandma always seemed to like me more. She thought blaming me would make her look better. I didn't know what to say. Part of me was still mad, but I could see she meant it. "Why didn't you just talk to me?" I asked. She shrugged, saying she didn't know how. We stood there in silence, the air heavy. I wasn't ready to forgive her, but I didn't hate her either. I went to Grandma's house to talk. She was in her garden, pulling weeds. "I'm so sorry I doubted you," she said, her voice soft. She explained how much the necklace meant to her. It was her mother's, a reminder of family. She felt awful for believing Tara's lie. I told her I understood, but it still hurt. She hugged me, her arms warm like they used to be. "You're a good girl," she said. It felt good to hear, but I wondered if things could go back to normal. The lie had left a crack in our family, and I didn't know how to fix it. The family gathered again at Grandma's house. Everyone was quieter this time. Aunt Lisa apologized for not believing me, and Uncle Mike looked embarrassed. Mom hugged me, saying she should have listened. But some cousins still whispered, and I could tell not everyone trusted me fully. Tara sat in the corner, avoiding everyone's eyes. I felt a little sorry for her, but I was still angry. The family was trying to move on, but the air felt heavy. I wondered if Tara's lie would always hang over us, like a shadow we couldn't shake. Jake was my rock through all this. After the family meeting, we sat in the backyard, kicking his soccer ball around. "You did it," he said, grinning. "You proved Tara was lying." I smiled, but it didn't feel like a win. The family was still split, and I felt tired. Jake said we should do something fun to forget about it. He suggested a bike ride to the ice cream shop. I agreed, happy to have him on my side. As we pedaled down the street, I felt a little lighter, like maybe things could get better. He suggested sneaking out for ice cream at the corner shop. I laughed, feeling a bit lighter. As we grabbed our bikes and rode down the street, the wind in my hair, I realized Jake was right. Sometimes, you just need a small escape to keep going. A week later, Tara texted me, asking to meet at the park. I wasn't sure, but I went. She was sitting on a bench, looking nervous. "I want to make this right," she said. She admitted she took the necklace because she was jealous and wanted Grandma's attention. She said she'd been feeling bad for weeks. I listened, not saying much. Tara promised to be better, but I wasn't ready to trust her. Still, seeing her try felt like a small step. Maybe she could change, but it would take time. I nodded and left, feeling a mix of hope and caution. Grandma called me over a few days later. She was in her kitchen, baking cookies. She handed me a small box, not the necklace, but a silver bracelet with a tiny heart charm. "This is for you," she said. "I should have trusted you." Her eyes were soft, full of regret. I hugged her, feeling the warmth I'd missed. The bracelet wasn't about the gift. It was her way of saying she believed in me again. I wore it home, my heart a little less heavy. Things weren't perfect, but this felt like a start. At school, word about Tara's lie spread. Some kids whispered as I passed, but others, like MIA, were nicer now. Tara kept her distance, her head down in the halls. I didn't like the gossip, but it felt good to have people know the truth. Still, I hated how it made Tara look. One day, I saw Tara sitting alone at lunch. I almost went over, but stopped myself. I wasn't ready to be friends, but I didn't want her to feel like I had at the reunion. I decided to give her space, hoping she'd find her own way to make things right. Things slowly got better. Grandma invited me over more, and Mom stopped looking at me like I might mess up. The family stopped talking about the necklace, but I could tell some still felt awkward. Tara started helping Grandma with chores, like she was trying to prove herself. I focused on school and hanging out with Jake. We'd bike to the park or watch movies, laughing like nothing had happened. The lie still stung, but I was learning to let it go. Life wasn't perfect, but it was mine again, and that was enough for now. Tara started showing up at family events again, quieter than before. One day, she helped me and Jake set up for a barbecue. She didn't say much, just handed me plates and smiled a little. It wasn't an apology, but it felt like she was trying. I nodded back, keeping it simple. Later, Grandma told me Tara was saving up to buy her a new chain for the necklace, to replace the one she'd borrowed. It was a small gesture, but it showed she cared. I wasn't ready to be close again, but I could see she was trying to fix things. At the next family reunion, things felt different. No one brought up the necklace, and Tara didn't act like she was better than me. We even laughed together when Jake spilled soda on himself. It wasn't like before, but it was a start. Grandma hugged us both, her smile wide. I realized the crack in our family was still there, but it was smaller. Lies hurt, but they don't have to break everything forever. I looked at Tara, and for the first time, I thought maybe we could be okay one day. A month later, I sat on my porch, wearing Grandma's bracelet. Tara and I weren't best friends, but we talked sometimes. She was trying to be better, and I was trying to forgive. The family was healing, slowly, like a bruise fading. Jake still made me laugh, and Grandma's hugs felt warm again. I looked at the stars, thinking about how one lie almost broke everything. But it didn't. I learned I was stronger than I thought, and my family could survive even the worst fights. I wasn't sure what would happen next, but I felt ready for it.